New Jersey cops caught on camera beating up a teenager. They had no idea they were being recorded. Let me take you to the video. Here it is.
In the garage. Look, garage. Where'd he go? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. In the garage. Look, garage. Head on, don't touch me. Head on, go ahead. You can touch me. I'm not doing that. No, you touch me. Here's head on. Don't touch me. Give me your badge number.
That's called a violent arrest. Let me give you the rest of the background. Put up a picture of this teenager, full mask here, okay? Paterson, New Jersey Police Department is now under fire. Hanief Booker, 19 years of age, of Paterson, he was arrested for resisting arrest and allegedly assaulting a cop, which tells you they had no other reason to actually have contact with Mr. Booker. He wasn't arrested for something else. He was arrested for resisting arrest. How can you be arrested for resisting arrest when you were not under arrest in the beginning? He was booked into the Bergen County Jail and denied bail. Denied bail? Yeah, denied bail. Murderers get bail. Drug traffickers get bail. But not this guy, this teenager, obviously. Can't give him bail. And currently Booker is waiting for a court date to be set. His brother was also arrested and charged with resisting arrest. Arrested for resisting arrest when he was not under arrest for anything else. Booker, who has no adult criminal record whatsoever, sustained a fractured nose and injuries to his skull and pelvis, but was not treated immediately. His injuries were addressed 4 days later. 4 days later. Booker and many of the youth in his community attended an end of summer block party. It's a kid party. It's a teenage party. It's what they do. Around 8 p.m., members of the Paterson Police Department showed up to answer a noise complaint, asking the organizers to see their permit for the jam. The organizer showed the officers his city-approved permission contract. We did everything by the books. The organizer, who asked to speak anonymously out of fear of police retribution, said. 40 minutes later, the entire event was shut down. Mr. Booker's cousin, Melissa Sanchez, explains what happened next. She said that she and Booker, all right, that she and Mr. Booker were leaving a local store when they saw police questioning another relative at a traffic stop on Sparrow Street. The family member happened to be Booker's brother. And so the two went over to see what was going on. Officers allege they pulled the brother over because he made an illegal U-turn and was driving recklessly. Now remember, they didn't arrest him for this. This is their claim to justify the contact, okay? There's more. There was a crowd of about 150 people or so. Booker allegedly walked, yelled out to this crowd, to the officers. What did he do? He said, what did he do? The cousin recalls seeing how unsettled he was after he posed the question. Sanchez says she tried to de-escalate her cousin's rising anger, pulling him away to a nearby garage. She's engaged in the act of de-escalation, the cops are not. However, as they walked away, someone from the crowd threw a bottle at one of the police officers, prompting 3 of them to respond. The PPD's arrest affidavit identifies Booker as the one who threw the bottle, claiming it hit one of the officers in the head. The report further states Booker ran into an open garage and was followed by 4 cops who followed him to arrest him. Booker, according to police, resisted the arrest. He resisted the arrest, kicking and screaming as they tried to secure him. The affidavit states, remember, the affidavit states that the young man pushed himself off the garage wall into them. The report admits that an officer elbowed Booker after telling him to stop resisting, and that another one pepper sprayed him so that his colleagues could get him to the ground. After he fell, officers still could not get him handcuffed because he placed his hands under his body, according to the affidavit. This caused one detective on site to hit him in his upper chest area in an effort to force his hands from his back. They're justifying their extreme use of force. This was the only way, according to them, they could get him under control and take him into custody. The police report of the incident is radically different from what other witnesses of the arrest said. Some witnesses dispute that Booker threw the bottle. Others claim some of the bystanders were injured as a result of the police failing to de-escalate the situation. So literally, what's happening? You have witnesses who are saying on record, no, Mr. Booker did not throw a bottle. Mr. Booker was not the aggressor. Mr. Booker had done nothing criminal, okay? You have the police who are using it as justification for their engagement with Mr. Booker. Police reports are so universally not believed that judges do not allow them in a court of law. You cannot present a police report as evidence during a trial. They are not believed, they are not credible. Let's put up a picture of the chief of police here. Buck stops with him. Patterson Police Chief Bakora is the individual who currently protects the officers and their identities. Damn shame. Teenagers, once again. All right, Yasmin, thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is so sad because I remember events like this when I was in school, and honestly, they can add a lot to your grade school experience. And I feel so sorry for these kids who can't go to school in a safe environment, especially when you already have enough to worry about in high school. Incidents like this one, apart from the obvious horror that they inflict on teenagers, they can have such a negative impact on mental health. It's infringing on any feelings of security or stability that these kids might have in their lives. And they're having to worry about and deal with things that they should never have to worry about or deal with. We're trying to incessantly police people's behaviors when the reality is that we can't, at least not to the extent that pro-cop and pro-prison lawmakers seem to think that we can. And we know we can because we've never been able to do so. It doesn't matter how many people we throw in prison to get them off the streets. The streets are always gonna have people on them, and we're always gonna have disagreements between people. We'll never get to this mythical utopia that people in power seem to think is attainable, but I think that they probably just keep pushing for something unattainable because they know it's unattainable, but as long as they keep up this tough on crime rhetoric, they can flex to their constituents that they're contributing to the discussion.
What we're seeing literally, cops more concerned about ego than justice, more concerned about their potential offense than about actually obtaining a just result. That's the problem.